The city's wet and cold tonight. The street lamps bleed their yellow light. I'm standing at the edge of everything we built, with nothing left but memory and guilt. Your photograph beside the phone, the one where both of us were whole, before the cracks became the canyon that we fell into, the place where broken lovers dwell. But even in the wreckage, even in the dark, I still feel the burning of your mark. Some fires don't go out, they just burn lower. Some loves don't let go, they just grow colder. Never gone, there's a fire in the rain that nobody else can see. A fire in the rain that you left burning in me. Thunder takes the sky, but it can't take what's true. There's a fire in the rain, and it's all because of you. I drove past where we used to go, the corner bar with lights down low, the jukebox playing something slow and sad and right, the way it always did on Friday night. forgot to come. I wore my armor even sleeping, even numb. I told myself that strong meant never letting go, that real men didn't bleed where other people know. But then you came with all your hurricane and light, and tore the whole constructed fortress overnight. And standing in the rubble of everything I'd made, I found the only real thing I had never said. I'm not as strong as I have led you to believe. I'm not the stone I've made myself out to be. Beneath the silence and the stillness and the pride, it's just a man who's terrified inside. I'm brave enough to break, brave enough to show the cracks, brave enough to break and not pretend I can hold back. All these years of keeping everything inside, I'm brave enough to love you, brave enough to try, brave enough to break for the first time in my life, brave enough to break. The night I almost called you from the parking lot, I sat there for an hour with what I almost got. The courage to admit that I was lost without the kind of love I never learned to live without. I drove home in the rain and told myself again that needing someone was a weakness and a sin. But sinners never felt as honest as this ache, and weakness never looked as brave as what I take. They gave us all these rules about the way men feel. They said the tears were rust upon the wheel, but rust is just the proof that something once was warm. And I would rather rust than never face the storm. I'm brave enough to break, brave enough to show the cracks, brave enough to break and not pretend I can hold back. All these years of keeping everything inside, I'm brave breaking is the bravest thing of all my life. The bravest thing of all my life. Breaking and brave. Breaking and brave. Finally free. The porch light burned till after 2. We'd sit out there and talk it through, about the world and what it owed, and all the harvest we had sowed. The floors would creak, the kettle sing. You'd hum along to everything. That little house on Maple Road was everything I'll ever know of home. But rented rooms don't last forever, and rented love, however tender, has to find another place to go when the lease runs out and the cold wind blows. Heaven was a house we rented. The street was wet, the lights were low, and you pulled me out into the floor. No music, but the rain came down. No shoes, just us in that small town. You laughed and said, "This is enough." That was the night I fell in love. I still feel your hand in mine. We were lost and that was fine. Nothing broken, nothing rushed, just the rain and the trust. Slow dance in the rain with you. No beginning, no end in view. Just the rhythm of your heartbeat underneath the gray and sweet. I would give the world again for one slow dance in the rain. With you, just one more slow dance with you in the rain. Now it's winter somewhere new, and the rain still falls. I think of you. Same old song on the radio, same old ache I've come to know. I open up the window wide, let the cold come drifting inside. Standing there in the avenue, tell me time can't wash away what we found on that one day. Even if the dance is done, you were the only one. Slow dance in the rain with you. No beginning, no end in view. Just the rhythm of your heartbeat underneath the gray and sweet. I would give the world again for one slow dance in the rain. With you, I'm still dancing in the rain. With you. I had 1,000 chances at the table. I had 1,000 mornings side by side, but I was always either too distracted or too proud to let you see me from inside. I'd start the sentence, then I'd lose my nerve. I'd feel the words and then I'd watch them curve back into silence where they always went. a million unsaid things, a man unspent. And now the table's set for one at dinner, and now the morning comes for only me. And everything I kept inside for safety is the very thing destroying what I breathe. Everything I didn't say is louder than the things I did. Everything I didn't say is living where our love still lives. Every I love you I swallowed, every thank you held back. Everything I didn't say is the only thing I want back. The only thing I want back. I didn't say you were my favorite sound, the humming in the kitchen making rounds. I didn't say that watching you read books was better than the finest thing that life had looked. I didn't say that when you touched my hand in public I felt like the luckiest man on earth in history in all of time. We sit across the table every morning and pass the sugar without touching hands. We've learned to move around each other's silence, the way that water moves around the sand. We still say goodnight, we still say good morning, we still perform the rituals of care. But something in the inches between our bodies has grown into a distance hard to bear. Same air feels like first. The spaces between us used to be filled with love. The spaces between us were never wide enough. Now they stretch like oceans across a bed we share. The spaces between us are the only thing still there. The only thing still there. You laugh at something on the television, I turn to share it, but the moment's gone. By the time I find the words to say it, the show has moved, and so have we moved on. I saw you crying in the kitchen once. You stopped when you heard me on the stair, and I pretended that I hadn't seen it. We've gotten very good at not being there. I don't know when we learned to be so careful, so precise about the borders of our pain. But careful isn't love, and precise isn't living, and I'd rather have the chaos back again. us are still small enough to cross, still close enough to reach, still ours, still ours. A Sunday afternoon, you were light through colored glass, and I was smoke-filled room. Two things that don't belong together, everyone could see. But belonging never stopped you reaching out for me. Your hands were clean and mine was stained with every road I'd run. You believed in something holy, I believed in none. But somehow in the middle of our broken difference, we built something that I'd swear to before any witness. I've been in cathedrals and I've been in gutters. I've seen the best of man reduced to mumbles and shudders. But nothing I have witnessed in this long and ragged life moved me like the morning you decided to be mine. Smoking stained glass, that's what we were. Smoking stained glass, and the world just blurred. The holy and the broken finding common ground. Smoking stained glass, the most beautiful sound of two lives colliding on sacred and scarred. Smoking stained glass, two worlds, one heart. The congregation whispered and the neighbors shook their heads. Two people, too different to be sharing prayers and beds. But we were something that the careful world can't understand. The fire and the water and the sea becoming land. You taught me how to sit still in the early morning light. I taught you that the darkness has its own kind of right. And somewhere in the teaching, we forgot to be afraid of all the beautiful, impossible we'd made. I've been running from the righteous and the righteous thing to do. Oh, nothing felt more most beautiful sound of two lives colliding on sacred and sky, smoke and stained glass. Two worlds, one heart. When you left, they said, I told you so. The smoke and glass don't mix, they said, you know. But I've seen smoke rise up to heaven every dawn, and I've seen glass hold light when everything is gone. So don't tell me that we were wrong. Don't tell me that we never should have been. The most beautiful things in this world are the ones that should never have happened, but did. Smoke and stained glass, that's still what we are. Smoke and stained glass, near and broken far. The holy found the broken, and the broken found the grace. Smoke and stained glass, the most sacred place, was every single moment that you called me yours. Smoke and stained glass, eternal and pure, eternal and pure. Sacred, sacred. Every broken, beautiful thing was us. Love with both your hands wide open, nothing held, nothing broken. You gave the way the rivers give, without asking how, without asking if. You'd leave a note beside the mirror, make the small things feel much clearer. Your silence was a kind of song, the kind that stayed when you were gone. I met others since the leaving. They were good and worth believing, but nobody loved the way you did. Nobody loved the way you did. I still remember how you loved, with your whole self, nothing above. The way you'd hold a broken thing and make it feel worth mending. I still remember every touch, the ordinary, everyday stuff. The love that didn't need to shout, that's the love I can't live without. I still remember how you loved. You love the way the old songs do, slow and warm and tried and true. You never needed grand gestures, just your hand in quiet measures. Early mornings, late night talking, side by side and sometimes walking. Nothing perfect, nothing planned, just standing at the crossroads of the life I had and the life I'm supposed to want by now. One road leads back to everything we shared. One road leads away, I don't know how. To choose between the gravity of memory and the open sky of something new. So I've been standing halfway in the darkness, halfway in the morning, halfway between me and you. The birds have started singing and the stars are going home. The world is waking up around a man who stands alone. Halfway between the leaving and the long way back, halfway on a road that has no map. I'm halfway home, but I don't know which home I mean. Halfway home in the space between what was and what could be, between your arms and something free. I'm halfway home and nowhere in between. I called you from a payphone in a town I didn't know. 3 rings and then I hung up. Couldn't let you know that I was that close and still that far away, that I had 100 things I couldn't say. Like how I missed the way you burned the toast, and how you laughed about it with the most unguarded joy I've ever seen a person wear. God, I miss that laugh. I miss that laugh beyond repair. And now I'm in this diner at a corner table small, watching strangers live their lives inside these walls. And every couple here looks like we used to be, before the halfway swallowed all of me. I'm halfway home, but I don't know which home I mean. Halfway home in the space between your voice and all this silence, your warmth and all this cold. I'm halfway home, but halfway's getting old. Getting old. What does home mean when the place you built it doesn't hold you anymore? What does moving on mean when every step you take forward feels like closing one more door on something that deserves to stay open, that deserved to be more? wasn't a storm, it wasn't a fight, it wasn't the slamming of a door at night. It was quieter than that, more final somehow, like the last light leaving a room, and I didn't know how to name what I was watching as it slowly went away. How a love that filled the years could just dissolve inside a day, without a word, without a warning shot, without a trace, just the last light leaving and the dark taking its place. I've seen sunsets that I thought would never end. I've seen the longest summers finally bend into autumn without asking for permission. That's the way it went, without a word, without a vision. When the last light leaves, you don't hear it go. When the last light leaves, you just stop to know that the room is different, that the warmth has changed. When the last light leaves, nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same. I looked across the table and I saw it there, in the way you held your coffee, in the way you didn't care to look up when I entered, didn't notice when I left. Just two people in a house, running low on breath. And I wanted to reach over, shake the table, make some noise, say, remember when this kitchen had a different kind of voice. But the man I've become knows better than to beg the light to stay, when the light has made its choice to go away. So I sat there in the half-dark, watching daylight die. Didn't reach across the table, didn't ask you why. Some endings are too honest to be dressed in drama's clothes. Some endings just wear silence and the closing of a door. When the last light leaves, you don't feel the cold. When the last light leaves, you just feel old and tired in a way that sleep can never really cure. When the last light leaves, nothing feels as sure as the darkness that comes after what was pure. I sat there until midnight, I sat there until the street went quiet too. I sat there in the dark of what we'd been and what we'd become, and I understood that some things don't end loudly, some things just exhale, like a candle that burns faithful to the very end of its wick and simply stops. And the room isn't angry, and the room isn't sad. It's just a room now, just walls, just air, the way it was before. We filled it with everything we had. everything was always gonna be okay. Gonna be okay. Even now, even this way, even in the dark of what we couldn't say. When the last light leaves, you learn to love the dark. Leaves, the last light leaves, and everything is still.
Never talked about forever. We just talked about tonight. And every night became another, till the days outweigh the light. You'd say my name like a question, I'd answer like a prayer. We were building something careful on foundations made of air. Maybe we were more than maybe less than I believed. Somewhere in that in-between was where I loved you most, it seemed. Somewhere between hello and goodbye is where we lived and didn't ask why. In the hallway of almost and nearly there, with your hand in mine and your scent in the air. We never said the word we meant, we just held on where the feeling went. Somewhere between hello and goodbye is where I'll find you if I close my eyes. Your coat still hangs beside the doorway. Your coffee cup still stains the shelf. I keep the light on in the kitchen, as if you might come home yourself. We were good at almost loving. We were fluent in the gray, and every morning felt like either could be our first or final day.
We never said the word we meant, we just held on where the feeling went. Somewhere between hello and goodbye is where I'll love you for the rest of my life.
There's a box beneath my bed, filled with words I never said. Your photograph still fades to gold, like every story left untold. I wrote your name 100 times, between the stanzas, between the lines. But every time I reached the end, I folded it and sealed it in. Maybe time would give me courage. Maybe silence was my language. But the seasons came and still I held every word inside this shell. You still hold the part of me that never found the way to give this letter to you someday. Your voice still echoes on the stairs. The scent of you still fills the air. I memorized the way you smiled before I let the distance build. Now autumn comes the way it does, and I remember why it was. How love can live in envelopes, between the paper, between the hopes. If you ever find these pages worn and yellow through the ages, know that every single word was true. Every single word was you. I was just afraid of losing what I had and started choosing. So I kept it close, I kept it near, right here. Right here, this is the last letter I never sent. The love I carried but never lent. Read between the lines of all these years. Find me where the ink has I've walked through desert heat and mountain cold. I've seen the places where the young grow old. I've chased the sunset to the other side and found that every sunset leads to you inside. You photograph us across 1,000 miles, inside my jacket next to every trial. A worn and faded corner creased with time. The only map I've needed, you are mine. They said the distance was too great to cross. They said some loves can't carry all that cost. They measured everything in miles and years, and I just smiled and wiped away their tears, because they never felt what I have felt. They never held a hand that made me melt. They never had a reason like you give to do the impossible and live. I would cross the world for you, through every storm and ocean wide. I would cross the world for you, through every dark and mountain high. There is no road too long, no sea too wide to swim. I would cross the world, I would burn it down and cross the world again and again for you. The telephone would ring at 3 a.m. Your voice so small across the miles, and then I'd lay there listening to you breathe and know that home was just a voice, and that's enough to go. I've slept in stations, terminals, and cars, beneath 100 different sets of stars. But every ceiling that I've stared up through had your name written in the dark where no one knew. The world said find someone a little closer. The world said love should be more practical. But practical is what you choose when you don't know yet what it means to feel this radical. This radical and raw and overwhelming. This absolutely certain and on fire. This thing that makes the impossible seem simple. This thing that makes a man a little higher. I would cross the world for you, through every storm and ocean wide. I would cross the world for you, through every dark and mountain high. There is no road too long, no sea too wide to swim. I would cross the world, I would burn it down and cross the world again and again for you. Distance is just distance, it's just space between two hearts, and hearts were made for crossing every distance kept apart. Time is just a number, just the turning of a page, and love is not diminished by the turning of an age. So call
seen the places where the young grow old. I've chased the sunset to the other side and found that every sunset leads to you inside. Your photograph has crossed 1,000 miles inside my jacket next to every trial.
I took the long way around so many times, chased 1,000 dreams through borrowed lines, burned a few bridges, kept a few scars, followed the moon when I should have followed stars. But every wrong turn led me somewhere right, every dark corner led me to your light. Looking back now through the dust and rain, I see it clear, I see the whole terrain. Maybe loss was just the lesson, maybe pain was just the blessing that I needed to become someone worthy of your love. All the roads that led to you were crooked, long, and overdue. But darling, every single mile was worth it just to see you smile. All the years I wandered through were quietly leading me to you, and I'd walk every road again just to find you at the end. Some folks find it on the very first try, some take longer just to learn how to cry. I was somewhere in the middle of both, holding on to someone else's hope. But when you walked in on that ordinary day, like a song I'd heard but forgot the words to say, suddenly the map inside my chest finally pointed somewhere I could rest. Don't tell me it was luck or fate, don't tell me I showed up too late. I believe that what we're given is a life that we've been living. And every heartbreak, every wrong was writing us this very song. So here I am with open hands and finally understand all the roads that led to you were crooked, long, and overdue. But darling, every single mile was worth it just to see you smile. All the years I wandered through were quietly leading me to you, and I would walk 1,000 roads again just to find you at the end. I had it written on a Tuesday, everything I meant to say someday. How you were the light I kept returning to, how I never found the words when standing next to you. I thought I had the time time has a way of closing every hole, and now I talk to photographs, and that's all. All the moments I stayed quiet, all the nights I didn't try it, saying what I felt, what I held inside. Now the words are all I have left behind. Everything I swore I'd say, I held it back and watched it fade away. All the love that never left my lips, all the truths I kept locked in my fists, everything I swore I'd say someday. When the moment came, I looked away. Now the moment's gone and so are you, and all I have is everything I swore I'd say to you. Everything I swore I'd say. You used to ask me what I thought of things, of life and love and what the future brings, and I would shrug and say I didn't know. When I knew everything, I just couldn't show the courage that it takes to be exposed, to hand someone the key to wear your clothes. I kept the door and lost you on the street. Now silence is the only thing I meet. If I could find a way back to before,
You were everything I swore but couldn't show. Everything I loved you, everything I swore I'd say.
Rain was hitting the window glass. The cab was waiting down the path. You stood there holding your own hands, like a stranger in your own homeland. I said the words I'd practiced long. They came out hollow, came out wrong. You nodded, slowly turned away, and I let the silence have its say. Every second slowed to nothing. Every heartbeat said do something, but I just stood there in the hall and let you walk beyond the wall. The night I let you go, I didn't know what I was losing. I thought that I was choosing right. I thought that I was strong enough to fight. The night I let you go, the rain came down without an answer. The city swallowed up your lies, and I've been searching ever since that night. The night I let you go. I told myself it was the time, that love alone don't make a line, that sometimes right is not enough, that sometimes good can fall apart, but all the logic in the world can't warm the cold of what unfurled. When morning came and you weren't there, just the shape of you still in the air. Would you have stayed if I had asked? Would you have taken off the mask of someone ready to be free? Was any part of you still needing me? I'll never know, and that's the weight I carry now, from state to state. The question with no clean reply: was
Was it over, or did I say goodbye too soon, too soon, too close and let you stay. That night, I'd never let you go.
Heard it in a crowded bar. A stranger said it from afar. Just 3 letters, nothing more. And I was 22 and yours once more. I set my glass down on the stool, felt every nerve go warm then cool, like someone opened up a vault I'd sealed away and called my fault. Names are just a sound, they say. A small refrain of every morning and every fight, every beautiful and broken night. I still feel the weight of your name, like a tattoo underneath the pain. Long after I thought I moved on through, I still carry the weight of you. The weight of your name,
but I carry the weight of you. I'll always carry the weight of your name.
I threw my bags into the trunk at dawn, left the key beneath the mat and moved along. Didn't say a word to anyone I knew, just pointed at the highway and drove through. The radio kept finding songs that stung, all the good ones from when we were young. So I turned it off and let the engine speak, the only honest voice I've had all week. But the miles don't erase what the memory keeps. The open road cannot run what's buried deep. I've been driving since the morning, still no closer to the version of myself from before you. Miles of empty road, and I still feel the weight. Miles of empty road, but I can't outrun fate. Every white line passing, every small town crossed, still miles of empty road and everything I lost. Stopped at some motel in Tennessee, paid cash and didn't give my real name free. Sat beside the window in the dark, listening to the highway in my heart. The trucker in the next room had his TV on, something about love that had gone wrong. I almost knocked to tell him that I understood, but some this isn't the answer, but standing still was killing me back there. So I'll drive until the driving teaches something, until the road runs out of road to give. Because motion is the only kind of prayer that a man like me knows how to live. Miles of empty road, but I'm still moving through. Miles of empty road, still somehow leading to you. Every mile of memory, every door to door. Miles of empty road, and I keep finding more. Miles of empty road, still yours, still yours. Still moving, still moving, still moving. Miles and miles of you. Yeah. The daytime's fine, I'm managing the light. I do my work, I answer when they ask if I'm alright. I laugh at all the right moments, I say the proper things. I've gotten very good at wearing ordinary skin. But when the sun goes under and the dark rolls in, that's when all the honest parts of me begin to surface like a wreck that daylight hides. The things I keep below the waterline, and all the memories I thought that I'd forgotten, come back so clear, so whole, so sharp, so honest. The way you slept, the way you said my name at night, the way the dark remembers everything. The day pretends it's fine, what the dark remembers, the daylight never shows. What the dark remembers, only the lonely know. Every tender moment, every whispered word. What the dark remembers hits the hardest. What the dark remembers cuts the deepest. What the dark remembers, you. I've rearranged the furniture, the room, moved everything so nothing holds the shape of you. But darkness doesn't care about furniture. Darkness puts you right back where you were. 3 in the morning and I'm wide awake, with every conversation that we used to make. The arguments that didn't need to happen, the apologies that came too memory grows merciful with years. But my memory's a courtroom in the dark that replays every scene in vivid tears. I'm not asking for a pardon, I'm not asking to forget. I'm just asking for one morning where the night lets me reset. One sunrise without your face, one dawn without your name, one ordinary Tuesday that doesn't end the same. What the dark remembers, I have learned to hold. What the dark remembers makes me brave and old. Every beautiful and broken, every lost and found. What the dark remembers is the truest ground, the most honest sound, the realest thing around. What the dark remembers is what love feels like when it's real, when it's real, when it's real, real, still real. What the dark remembers is you, is you. The house is dark except for one small flame. I set it in the window just in case you came. The neighbors probably think I've lost my mind, a grown man burning candles for someone left behind. I made your favorite coffee, let it cool. I'm not sure when I stopped being rational, but rational was never what we were. Two people burning bright and burning hard. The midnight comes and goes without a sound. The candle keeps on burning, burning down. And I keep watching shadows on the wall, pretending every one of them is you. Coming down the hall, there's a candle in the window burning low. A light I keep for you so you will know. romantic song. The only conversation since you've gone, and every tick is just another proof that time moves even under a broken roof. The second hour passes, then the third. I haven't moved, I haven't said a word. Just watching how the wax runs slowly down, like every promise melting to the ground. There's a candle in the window burning low, a light I keep for you so you will know that wherever you have gone, whatever road you're on, there's a candle in the window, and I won't let it go. Not tonight, not ever. I won't let it go. Maybe love is just a candle in a storm, something small and warm against all that cold and dark. Maybe keeping it alive is the bravest thing a man can do with a broken heart. And maybe you can feel it wherever you are tonight. One small point of warmth and light in all that dark and wide. I hope you feel it. I need you to feel it, because I'm burning everything I have to keep it bright. There's a candle in the window burning still. I'll keep it burning here against my will, against all sense and reason, against every changing season. There's a candle in the window on the sill, and it burns for you. It only burns for you. It always will.